there, friend. This is an impromptu chat for you. You, that person sitting there, not knowing what to do next, having a scary night, a scary morning, a day where you just feel that sense of dread or overwhelm, or like, how will this ever play out? Through all the years that I have been alive, I've been watching these scary moments. The Sunday Scaries, the 2 a.m. Scaries, the first thing in the morning Scaries, the sun setting in late autumn Scaries. Those are some of mine. We all have our own version of those tough moments where we just need something to hold on to. So this is a little chat for that, a little moment of sitting with, being here, and offering up a little bit of safety and connectedness with you. I think our culture has told us that we need to avoid this scary feeling at all costs, that there's something really wrong with us if we feel scared or overwhelmed. And that's made those times when we feel it feel so much worse. The guilt, the self-judgment, the feeling like we should be somewhere else. And that got me thinking about how when we're in the scaries, we're in the overwhelm, we're in that feeling like we'll never get out of that feeling again, how so often we feel like we need to get out of it so we can become our ideal self. The ideal self would never have a scary day. The ideal self would never feel overwhelmed by something, would always be soothed, would always be confident and relaxed and wouldn't let things get to them. And I think so often when we're really scared, that call from the ideal self is part of the pain. That there's something just so wrong with us that we feel scared, that we feel overwhelmed, that we can't just move through the day like it's nothing. And I think that ideal self can haunt us and taunt us throughout life. I know that when I moved to Sweden full-time in early 2022, right before that, I was scared. I was really scared and really emotional, and I'd wake up at night and feel so overwhelmed by dissolving my life and moving somewhere that I didn't have a life set up yet. And sometimes it would feel so intimidating. And sometimes I would think, what am I doing? Why am I doing this to myself? And I remember that I had started to really engage with this ideal self. I felt like, well, when I get there, I'm going to be this new version of Sarah. I'm going to be confident. I'm going to be really social. I'm going to have sleek hair, which that's never going to happen. I'm going to wear a certain type of outfit. I'm going to suddenly leave behind all the messy parts of myself because I'm starting new. I'm going to have new routines, and I'm determined to make ideal Sarah happen. And I think that put a lot of pressure on me secretly. You know, I came here and I was still me. I was still sensitive. I was still processing my whole life and the places that really caused me stress and fear in childhood, learning how to incorporate those parts of myself. I was still somebody who has wild hair and isn't particularly inspired by spending a lot of time on my makeup or my clothes. I'm much more invested in being a little bit free-spirited and spending time out in the woods and spending time alone and spending time in my own world with my books and my painting and my daydreams. And it didn't change because I moved to a new city, a new country. It didn't change. And I still had my little scaries at night before going to bed or in the middle of the night, sometimes first thing in the morning. But I think one thing that has helped me so much is that my scaries, my fear, my sensitivity isn't something I need to run away from or judge or try to eradicate as fast as possible. I know they're so hard to sit through. Those moments when you feel like, what's going to happen next? How am I going to keep going? How am I going to keep being this person in the world? Where is my value? Where is my safety? Where is my security? All the questions that come up while we're in those really poignant times, it can feel really overwhelming, and none of us want to stay there. None of us want to be that tender and sensitive all the time. But those moments come, and then they go, and they come again, and then they go again, and then they come. And I think a deeper acceptance of that has made them more okay to be here. Like, it's okay that you're having a scary evening and that you're feeling overwhelmed and that you don't know how to really see yourself right now, or see your progress forward, or tell where your feet are even moving, or tell what is actually stressful and what's okay, and that you're having a hard time seeing with clarity. That's okay. I know it's painful and scary, and you probably want to feel better, but it's also okay that you visit here sometimes. It's also okay that you visit these places. And you might always visit these places. And that doesn't mean that you are doing something wrong. It doesn't mean that you are missing a piece or that you have to improve yourself into a new shape and just get better at Stoic philosophy. We all deserve to have fewer of these scary moments and to find ways to care for ourselves and find peace. And we all deserve to go to bed feeling safe and loved and safe to be ourselves and safe to move through the world. We all deserve that. And I hope each of us finds ways to give ourselves that. But it's also totally allowed to visit the scary places. We're going to visit. We'll be there. I'll be there with you. And then we'll leave. And we'll sip a cup of tea. And we'll open the front door and smell the air. And we'll tell a story to a friend. And we'll pick up a book and read a chapter or a page. And we'll see a leaf fall from a tree. And then a little remembering will come back of something that we like about being here in the world and being ourselves. And slowly the fear will go away. And that sense of belonging will come back. However scared you are right now, just know that you are not alone. You are a part of a whole group of us in the world. We're everywhere. We're all around, and we're with you. Where we visit the scary places. We visit the fears. And it might seem like everybody else is moving on and doesn't visit the scary places, and some people probably visit them less. But there's a lot of us. So whenever you're feeling really overwhelmed and really scared and like you are just alone, just remember, I visit there all the time. You have so many kindred spirits visiting with you, and we will visit there. We will visit there. We will have our fears, we'll have our worries, we'll have our doubts, and we will leave again, and we will visit other places and other lands, because sensitive spirits that have moved through a lot in life visit many places in life. We visit many visions of the world, We visit many ways of seeing existing. We visit magical candy corn fairy tale lands, and we visit the scariest places. We have imaginations that are very powerful and storytelling that is very powerful. And that means that we visit all the different landscapes, including the ones that are scary sometimes. And I think that self-acceptance makes the scariness less scary, makes the darkness less scary. And I know that's helped me so many times. And I've had scary nights this week where going to bed just felt impossible. I just didn't know how to lay down and not feel scared about how I'm changing, about what's next, about how am I going to feel safe. And I visited those places, and I got a little sleep, and I woke up the next day, and then I visited somewhere else. And then I visited again before bed. That's my current visitation place. But yeah, that's what I have in this Lantern Side chat, is that you're safe to visit and to leave, both. And that I'm right there with you. And that we're doing okay just as we are. We don't have to chase the ideal self across this whole lifetime. We can be this strange, imaginative, sensitive way that we are right now here. And that is beautiful in its own way. I love you so much. Take care of yourselves. Listen to this whenever you need a little comfort. I'm right there with you, traveling through the many layers and ways of seeing the world.